All right, everybody. Hey, it's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and today, maybe what I ought to do here is move this up. All right. And today, what I want to talk about is another contradiction in the Bible and a theologian. I don't know what his name is anymore. His name is Joseph R. Nally Jr. He's a Doctor of Divinity, Master of Divinity, and theological editor. So, he's pretty damn smart. But anyway, I'm going to talk about a contradiction. How much did David pay for the threshing floor? Now we're talking about David was either, let's see, Satan, here it says in 1 Chronicles 21, verse 1, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Okay, so he numbers Israel. God comes to David and says, you sinned, and I want you to pick your, discipline that I'm going to have to discipline you with. And David says, pestilence for the people, which is just perfect. There you are. You didn't sin against God. David did. And minding your own business, maybe you're even trying to serve the Lord to the best of your ability. Well, you're going to die in a plague that this prick decided to, foist on the people instead of slapping the shit out of David. Okay? Now, we're going to talk also about this. Satan stood up here, and then we'll go to 2 Samuel, and we'll find out who really did it. Okay, but David decides to build an altar to sacrifice to the Lord. Okay? This is 1 Chronicles 21, starting in verse 18. Then the angel of the Lord commanded Gad to say to David that David should go up and set up an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. Yeah, you just go and you do what you want to do here at this guy's property. And David went up at the saying of Gad, which he spake in the name of the Lord. And Ornan turned back and saw the angel and his 4 sons, and saw the angel and his 4 sons with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat. And as David came to Ornan, Ornan looked and saw David, and went out of the threshing floor, and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. Then David said to Ornan, grant me the place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar therein unto the Lord, unto the Lord. Thou shalt grant it me for the full price, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Ornan said unto David, take it to thee, and let my lord the king do that which is good in his eyes. Lo, I give thee the oxen also for burnt offerings, and the threshing instruments for wood, and the wheat for the meat offering. Okay? Now that's pretty much, I give it all. That's pretty much the whole property there. And the king said to Ornan, nay, but I will verily buy it for the full price, for I will not take that which is thine for the Lord, nor offer burnt offerings without cost. So David gave Ornan for the place 600 shekels of gold by weight. Okay? Now, I just went over here and I want to find out how much that would be in United States dollars. So 600 shekels would be like $185. Okay? Okay, let's go back here. Okay. He paid him 600 shekels of gold by weight. And David built there an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings, and called upon the Lord, and he answered him from heaven by fire upon the altar of burnt offering. And the Lord commanded the angel, and he put his sword again into the sheath thereof. Okay. Now that was 1 Chronicles. Let's go to 2 Samuel 24. Okay. Now, 2 Samuel 24 says in the beginning, now in Chronicles, Satan stood up against Israel. Okay? But in 2 Samuel we have a contradiction here. And again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. Okay? Now David, God was the one who moved David against them. In the other one, Satan moved David against them. Okay? But anyway, he moves against him, and it comes to the point where he wants to build an altar. He wants to assuage God's anger. So, let's start reading at verse 18. And Gad came that day to David and said unto him, go up, rear an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And David, according to the saying of Gad, and I know Ornan and Araunah, they're two different names. I didn't really look into that because I thought I just want to deal with this right here. I mean, maybe they are the same. I don't know. But that to me doesn't really matter. I care less about that. And David, according to the saying of Gad, went up as the Lord commanded, and Araunah looked and saw the king and his servants coming on toward him. And Araunah went out and bowed himself before the king on his face to the ground. And Araunah said, wherefore is my lord the king come to his servant? And David said, to buy the threshing floor of thee, to build an altar unto the Lord, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Araunah said to David, let my lord the king offer up what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be the oxen for burnt sacrifice, the threshing instruments and other instruments, and of the oxen for wood. All these things did Araunah as a king give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, the Lord thy God accept thee. And the king said to Araunah, nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price, neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel. Okay, let's go back here. All right, now here he says wheat. Okay. So David gave Ornan the full for the place 600 shekels of gold by weight. Here he bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. Now, this guy here, because there's two different versions of this, says, okay, the answer is, how much did David pay Araunah, 50 shekels of silver or 600 shekels of gold? The answer, 2 Samuel 24:24. But the king replied to Araunah, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen and paid 50 shekels of silver for them. 1 Chronicles 21:25. So David paid Araunah 600 shekels of gold for the site. Well, he gave it for the place, okay? Let's go back here again. In 2 Samuel 24, the focus is on David's purchase of the oxen and the threshing floor. However, in 1 Chronicles 21, the focus shifts to David's purchase of the site. Well, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Because in both of these passages, he gave him, it says he bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. Why would he buy, why would he buy the entire site for 600 shekels of silver after he bought the threshing floor and the oxen? So he bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver, but in the other one he bought the entire site for 600. Like he had, oh wait a minute, could I have the whole site? Because I mean, to me, this is really, it does not make any sense. And because I look at it this way. Because we have two different versions, guys like this got to spin it to make it sound like, to make it work. Okay? I think of the what is it, the Tool song where they say, I saw the pieces fit. It'd be like I come over to someone, they have their property for sale. And I tell the guy, listen, I'll pay you for the house right now. And the guy, being as dumb as me, goes, oh, okay. So I give him $50,000 for his house. And then I'm standing there and I go, and now I'm going to pay you for the property. So I give him, say, $80,000 for the property. Does that make sense? These are two stories where he buys the entire threshing floor. Okay? Because he gives, he said, the oxen, threshing instruments, and other instruments of oxen for wood. Because he did not say the wheat, like he said in this one, you know, I see a big problem with this. Okay, this is just more what you call mental gymnastics. Because of a contradiction here. Because 50 shekels of silver would be like $15.44. So he paid, let's see, 185. So he paid about $200 for all of it. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I see a contradiction. I see two different stories. Just let me know what you think. Because, like I'm saying, a lot of problems. I have another one that I want to get to here. Now, one thing I heard, I was thinking there was a Bible story about Jehoram. Jehoram was a king of Israel, and in, I forget which book it is anymore, Jehoram starts reigning at age 32, and he reigns for 8 years, and he dies. And then Ahaziah, his son, starts reigning. And in one book, it says 42 years, so he started reigning at 42, meaning he was 2 years older than his father. But in another book, I think one is Chronicles and the other one is Kings. I don't know. I'm just, this is off the top of my head. In the other book, he starts reigning at age 22. And I was going to make, when I first heard this, I was going to make a video on it. And then I learned, by looking into it, that there's two different versions. And so 42 may be a copyist error. So I'm just, as far as I'm concerned, he was 22 years old. So, but with this one right here, I see two different stories. Why would you pay, now, I can understand that somebody, he'd want to buy a sawmill, okay, and all he wants is a sawmill. I know people that live near me that they sold their sawmill, but they sold the property with it too, so it's not their property anymore, okay, and that's how it's done. That's, as far as I know, that's how it's always done. But anyway, just let me know what you think, and I'm going to try to keep popping these videos out. I look at this way, I don't, I have questions about the Bible. I see contradictions. I just made one today on the two different 10 commandments that we have, that Israel was given. And, it's, like I said, I was told it was inerrant. that there are no contradictions, yet there are. Okay, that I see them. Okay, so that's it for today. That's it for right now. Maybe I'll make another one today. And until next time, like I said, let me know what you think. And I am David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.